G'day punters, welcome to episode 3 for 2022 of All In, the show where we try and find you plenty of value for the week ahead. Joined by Dean Watling from the Barrier Attendant and Lewis Willoughby from Sky Racing. Dino, firstly, how are you, mate? How was the weekend?
Going well, mate. Louis, Gannon, travelling all right. It was a good weekend, I think. We start to heat up with this weekend with some proper slipper horses coming to the races, and we heat up with the Group 2 Expressway at Rosehill. So exciting times, autumn on the cards. Louis, how are you travelling?
You wouldn't have to be doing very well to be travelling better than me at the moment. I've just spent the last 2 days at the Oz Open, watching the tennis, yipping and yahooing. So I'm struggling a bit. Forgot my Strepsils at home, so apologies on the husky voice, everyone listening. Hopefully you can still tune in. But no, it's been good fun. And as you said, Dino, we've just come off a big weekend of racing and we're about to go back into another one. Could be even bigger. We got some good meetings to get through later on in the program. Few Group 3s, couple of Group 2s, Rosehill, The Valley, it's all happening. So it's going to be a big weekend ahead. Gano.
Super stuff, guys. Hopefully, Louis, your voice hangs on for another 15, 20 minutes there. You're doing well. Super stint today on Sky, by the way, mate, to get through that. So just getting on the back end of that. All right, gents. So we're going to move into weekend review. It was a pretty quiet weekend of racing, but Lewis Willoughby with best ride of the weekend.
Yeah, so I went through the replays. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of racing on Saturday. I was at the tennis, so I had to go back and watch. And the one that stood out to me was in race 9 at Randwick, Tim Clark aboard Lakeen, the Godolphin runner. It was a perler. He was kind of held up back to the inside. And they say that patience is key. And that's exactly what it was. He was very patient, just waited and waited for a run, which he knew, or at least he hoped would come. And he got the split plate and it was too strong. So Tim Clark on Lakeen in race 9. Have to give an honourable mention to Quade Crow for winning at huge odds on room number. And it was a good ride for a horse that the market gave absolutely none to. So for him to get that to win with a perfect ride up on speed, came wide on the turn and just flew home to win. It was good. And punters, I'll give you a hot tip as well. If you're looking to back a stable down the south coast at the moment, the Barbara Joseph, Paul and Matt Jones team are flying, airborne. They're just printing money. So definitely get around them. Dino, horses to follow.
I'll be quick. I got 3. One from Randwick, I think we all saw in the feature of the day. No compromise, big odds. Love when these Wallace horses stay as return well fresh. Back to the inside was super. So out of Saturday racing, no compromise. I'll mention 2 others. Kembla Grange, same day, Saturday, a filly for the Portelli yard. Had good form lines before pulling up an issue back in the spring. Ringer Rosa absolutely bolted in there. Big turn of foot, sustained a huge run. She's a city class filly for sure. And one from Canterbury Friday night, Ruin Art. I've been on every single start. Should have probably won every single start, this filly. She's got stacks of ability, just needs a big straight and needs the luck. She'll be winning soon too. So they're 3 for me to follow. Gano, who butchered what on the weekend?
All right. So I went through the meetings and I really didn't come up with much. So I found it really hard. But I'm going to, if you throw stones and you live in a glass house, you're going to have to watch your mouth. There's a song about that, isn't there? So I threw some stones at Peanut last week. We've thrown plenty of stones as jockeys over time, but I'm going to give a slaughter of the week to myself. I've tipped one at Goulburn today, $5.50 this morning. I said, just wait for it. It'll blow out. Within 2 hours, it's into $2.80, starts $2.60, wins. So apologies. I've absolutely murdered it. Reverse trumpet, call it what you want. I've had a shocker.
Well, I was about to say, is that a little bit of trumpet there? It's still one, Gano.
You can't win, right? You give yourself a slaughter, you're going to cop a hiding. There's nothing you can do. So, yeah, slaughter, trumpet, I'll take both.
Very good, very good. Well, that's all right. At least at one still. You didn't get the price, but the winner's better than what Dino and I are throwing up at the moment. So at least one of us is saluting. We're going to move on to some early plays. Speaking of winners, we've got a few to find. The Group 2 Expressway is the feature at Rosehill on Saturday. Looking at the market, and Animo on $1.90. I'll get your thoughts on this in a second. Is that too short? Snap Dancer, $5. Away Game and Forbidden Love at 8s. And also Tiger of Malay and Bellucci Babe is the first one at double figures. It's a $13 pop. And we're coming to Dino first. What do we think in the Expressway early doors?
Yeah, Louis, I think Animos, that's ridiculously short. I know it's a hype horse, but $1.90. Rosehill, we've got to imagine Rosehill rails out. It's going to be a dry track looking at the forecast. So Barry's key for that horse, but it looks like a bit of speed here. So I'll be banking on the speed horses. One you mentioned to us last week off the trials, Louis, Forbidden Love. She's a mare with tactical speed and can sit and absorb that high pressure race. So I really like her. She's got a good fresh record, 2 from 3, $8 now. I think she starts shorter than that. I love when there's an intent in trials with these horses. She didn't come up in the spring, but she's a good mare. So at $8, I really like her. And one to mention, not sure if he'll go this round, but maybe later in his prep, he's Overpass. I'm convinced he's a really, really smart colt. He did trial this morning, so I doubt they back up, but he's smart. So Forbidden Love, Gannon, you agree? You like the $8 there?
Absolutely, mate. Definitely agree with Forbidden Love at the $8. I think Standout is a bet. Can't recall the odds you threw out there, Louis, but Standout could be a bet as well. I'm completely against Animo. I can't believe that price. That's ridiculous. Coming off what we could call now Cox Plate preparations, had the one trial. Best horse in the race, there's absolutely no doubt, but Rosehill rail, 6 meters, dry track. They'll be off and gone, and I doubt it's going to probably look. If we're looking at a field of 12 now, say you might have 10 acceptances there, it could be good 5-6 off them, and first up off that sort of preparation. No, thank you. I will note that Standout, if it gets a dry track, gee, it's good horse. What it runs second to Masked Crusader, Dino's mate, old Masked Crusader, in the Premier Group 2. So there's another bet there. Just having a look at those odds there, $13. So $13 and $3.40 to play. So there's two that I'm probably keen on to bet in that race. Don't want to borrow Animo. I think you probably get a much better price on the weekend. And to be fair, it's gonna, if it draws an inside barrier, they're gonna have. How's it gonna keep up anyway, Dino?
Yeah, exactly. I think the only time it looked vulnerable in Sydney was in the Golden Rose at Rosehill when we had that rail, and it was a hot day to be on that rail. So, yeah, no value in that. Surely it starts longer come race day anyway. So I think they're just keeping it safe, the bookies. But, yeah, that's the Expressway, Louis.
So we're all against Animo at the shorts, and $13. Yeah, you're right there. Standout. That doesn't look a bad one. Forbidden Love for me, guys, for what it's worth. On to the Widden. These odds courtesy of Tab. Ebha, $3.50. Ojai, it's $4.50. Drasana and Queen of the Ball at $6, and then the first one at double figures. There's a few of them at the $11 mark, and Bon Hur and Moko and Pantanario, 3 of those at 11s. Dino, with the babies in the Widden, what are we thinking?
Yeah, I think we might have a slipper filly here in Eberha for the Snowden camp. Went down to Melbourne and bolted in there. I got headed. We're about the 200 mark, and then once she saw the other horse come, kicked away, and that's a smart sign for mine. Probably leading's not a go going off that. So she's been back to Sydney now, had a trial. It was a gun trial. She looks to improve off that run. I love when they go for a win and then get put away for a nice freshen and then come back. I think it's a good profile for these 2-year-olds. Gives them a little bit of time to mature and strengthen again. And she's an on-pace type, so suits Rosehill perfectly. I know she's short, but I think she'll start shorter than that. So I really like her. I really like she's going to be a Golden Slipper filly. That's the way I land the favourite. No issue there, and I think she starts shorter, so I'm keen to be on her back and follow her the whole prep. Gano, how do you see the race?
Look, not really playing to my strengths with the 2-year-olds here, guys, but if I was to have a bet, I'll probably have something small to place on Mumbai Jewel. Wasn't too bad on debut. The form, obviously, Coolangatte has gone on from there. What's finished behind that hasn't been too strong, but I just like the way he hit the line, and I think it could be one that could fill a hole there.
So that was the first of the 2-year-old races. The Canonbury is the next, and equal favourites at this stage on Monday at 6:30 p.m. roughly, time of recording. Great Barrier Reef and Metallicity is $3 a piece. Zambezi River $5.50. Man in the Mirror at $8 with Robusto, who I got some mail on is going very, very, very well. Robusto $8. Best of Bordeaux at 11s, and Flashing Steel $15 heads the rest. Dino.
Yeah, 2-gun trialists, top of the market, Louis. The bookies haven't missed them in Great Barrier Reef and Metallicity. Metallicity was meant to go around last week, but had a little stone bruise. So as long as he lines up, he looks a very smart colt, has a beautiful stride on him, effortless, and he can sit on pace as well. So that's a big tick from here. Great Barrier Reef, it's probably a guessing game where he will settle. I'm guessing midfield or probably worse. So at the early odds, and looking just purely off their trials, I'd lean the way definitely of Metallicity. No spoils on the price, so I don't really mind waiting for barriers, but they're the two I've got earmarked, and I really think they're slipper horses as well. So could see a couple of smart ones step out. So I'm keen to bet around them. Just going to wait for the barriers to come out, and then I'll chime in. Gannon, how'd you see it?
Just a quick one, Dean. I don't have any opinion on the race whatsoever, but who was down to ride Metallicity last start?
I'm not too sure. I think it was Clipperton.
Okay.
I'm not too sure because I know that
who jumps on board this time round. I know obviously Waller's got a few there as well. That'll probably be a decent betting guide for me. Obviously, a few of the better jocks are back from Gold Coast as well. So keen to see what happens there.
Yeah, I think J-Mac will definitely jump on Great Barrier Reef for Waller. I think Tommy potentially, or Nash maybe. I'm not too sure. I can't really remember who did trial Metallicity. I think Sam Clipperton may have trialled, and because of, like you've mentioned, the top jocks were up in Queensland, I think he was booked. So yeah, interesting note, and probably a nice push for punters. Exactly, Gunnar, well mentioned.
So that rounds out the group racing from Rosehill. Quick one from the Valley, the Group 2 Australasia Stakes over 1,200 metres. And Moorabbie back in. It's $1.80. The Astrologist at $7 and Sinawan is at $8 heading the rest. This can be a quick one here, boys. Does anything but beat Moorabbie, yes or no?
No, not off what I've seen and not off what you've told me, Louis. So I'll stick firmly in the no category. Gunno?
I know that Forbidden Love's nom down there.
Yeah, it is.
So
$15.
Yeah.
I think they'd want to stay in Sydney if they're smart.
Exactly.
Righto, so that's the feature from the Valley of the Group 2 over the 1,200 metres, and that rounds out the group racing coming up this Saturday as well. So I've given you a few early doors to steer into. Dino, we're coming back to you for your specialty. You trial Perv. 2 runners from the trials recently. What have you got for us?
Yeah, I've got a couple from last week that I'll save because they're going to be midweek bets, but there is a smart one from the Waller camp trialled last Monday at Rosehill called Afterlight. Quite trial, typical Waller. Found the line and was an absolute rocket past the post. So nice young type. I like that horse. And then 2 from this morning. I think everyone would have caught it. I did a retweet of it. Converge. Probably a forgotten horse from the spring. He was tipped to be Cox Plate winner and was in all your markets of Animo. Had an infection or an issue. I can't remember and was spelled, but 2 trials back, he looks to be absolutely flying. And another one for the O'Shea yard, Minhaj. She come of age after a big spell, was off to become a mum, but put back into racing. She was super in the spring. She really come of age and won some really nice races. I think she will go to Group 1 level this time in. Trial again was super. So they're 3 we can follow. Afterlight, Converse, and Minhaj, Louis. But they're from the trial Pervs. Hopefully a couple more step out in the next couple of weeks. But we move on to midweek best bets. Hit us, Louis.
Yeah, beauty. Straight in the black book they go. I'm going to go out wide again. We had some success a few weeks ago. Kilmore race 2 on Tuesday. Come on, Eileen. Race 2, number 4 at Kilmore. It was very good at Wangaratta first up. Got well back. Flew home. It was an impossible winning position. Around the 4th best last 200 of the day. Gets out to the 14.50 and change here, second up. And I think can be turning the tables. And then Caulfield, race 3, number 2. This is Wednesday now. Asfoora, 2 from 2 in the career. This is the toughest test to date, but really loved the win at Stall last start. Her last 400 was 4.5 lengths quicker than all benchmark standard time. Deserves her city chance and looks to go 3 from 3. And I'll be out there on Caulfield at Wednesday. Should be a cracking day. Can't wait to get back to the races. Come on, show some decorum as well, by the way. Gunnar, what have you got for us midweek?
Mates, I had Baranoff at Bathurst tomorrow going around, but it's just come out. So unfortunately, that was going to be a good thing of the day. So put a big red pen through that one. Sorry, mate.
Money back, put that on the spreadsheet.
Something. And then we'll head to Warwick Farm on Wednesday, where race 6, number 1, Offshore, around $5.50. Probably wasn't given its best ride last start. Wasn't a shocker, but it could have been ridden a little bit better than that. I think it's a wider draw. I think it's probably going to probably suit this horse. Go forward, make its own luck, and good gallop around the 550 can be winning. But there's a really interesting one in race 8, number 1, Darjaran for the Waterhouse Bot Stable. Geez, I've made a meal of the name. $3.20 at the moment, was about $4.40. J-Mac's on board. J-Mac doesn't ride for that stable very often, so you know this horse is going to be pretty damn good.
Beauty. So there's our midweekers. Heaps of bets there. Write them all down. Get the biro out and take them down and have a bet as well. That almost sees us out, I think, boys. Another Monday episode. Gano, Dino, it's been a pleasure as always. Have we got something for the punters again here, Dino?
Yeah, just a quick mention. You've gone past my Wednesday bets, so I'll fly through them quickly. Thanks, boys. Race 1, Warwick Farm, Mars Mission, Hawks Horse, back it will win. Race 4, another Hawks Horse. The stable's coming into good form now. Fire, up from Melbourne, will win. And like Gannon mentioned, I'm glad you had a crack at the name, Gannon. I've got none on it. Double play, a Louis 2-bet play here. Dajran and Abel Willie, they're two firm favourites, but they will battle it out. They both look smart. The only knock on Dajran is synthetic hoof filler first time, and the big weight. That's my concern. But both trialled up super, like you mentioned. J-Mac doesn't ride for Waterhouse and Bot unless he's winning. So moving on, I've got a hat for a prize for the retweet for the comp, retweeting our show last week. So thank you to everyone who retweeted, got on board and interacted. We always appreciate the chat. This week's winner of the hat's Matt Zammit. He's a keen watcher of the show, and I've chatted to him a couple of times. He's a really good bloke, and he actually owns this nice, smart one called Way to the Stars, a filly on the rise. A colt maybe, on the rise. He's a very nice horse. So he is the winner of the cap this week. Get in touch, DM us, and we'll get that organised. But that pretty much rounds it out, does it, Gano?
Outstanding, lads. Yeah, congratulations, Matt. Genuine good bloke on Twitter. There's only about a few of us left. So up you go, son. Boys, thank you so much. It's been another ripping episode. Just before we leave, I've got a couple for Saturday just under the radar here. All right, you ready for them? Yee in the benchmark 88 over 1,500 meters. I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago. And Navarez, Louis, you would have seen this horse was on pace. I think it was caught 3 wide the trip. It's nominated for a BM78. It was very impressive to hold. I think it ran third. It'll gutsy. It'll give a sight, and that's going around most likely nominated on Saturday. So 2 there for you, boys. Gents, thank you. As always, punters, if you're watching the tennis, watch out for a lunatic dressed like a Kermit. That'll be Louis. Louis, all the best with your voice. Dino, thank you so much. Gents, thank you very much again.
Pleasure as always.
Thanks,
boys.